I did speak with a source who had a meeting with Kristianna today while she was in jail. They did a video visit with her. I'll go ahead and pop up the receipt right here that you can see that they did a video visit with her. My source wanted to stay anonymous, but they did give me an update on what Kristianna had to say and how she's doing behind bars. So first, she was asked about her charges. Unfortunately, she couldn't really go into her charges too much because this still is a pending case and they do record the video visits. So it's probably in her best interest to not really speak on that because anything that she admits to can be used against her in the court of law. But pretty much she was very upset. She was not doing good at all, according to my source. She was crying. She said she's really depressed and lonely. And I guess what her downfall is her sister Tara, allegedly. So apparently, like when we saw her on the show with John and she ran off, and when she was living with John in relapse, she ran off to Tara's house and got high with Tara. And I guess Tara uses meth. And even though her drug of choice is crack, a lot of times when she's around her sister hasn't. She'll just go ahead and do it with her sister. And her sister and her are both bad influences on each other. When she ran off while she was on the show with John, her and her sister hung out, got high, went to the casino, and Kristianna is currently living with her mother, and apparently she acts like she hasn't seen her sister in a while, but she just saw her like a month ago, and she claims she has no idea where she is right now. And she said on her case, I asked, does she think she's going to prison? And she does not believe she's going to go to prison. They're either going to send her to a halfway house or they're going to send her to rehab. But the problem is the halfway house that they're going to send her to is the same exact halfway house that she went to while she was on the show, where they were concerned because most of the people allegedly in the halfway house were all druggies that were actively using, and Kristianna's sister and the people in the halfway house contributed to Kristianna relapsing, and they're just not good influences. Everybody gets high there. They pressured Kristianna allegedly. And so my source feels like if Kristianna goes back to that halfway house, it's just going to be the same exact thing. She's going to get out, getting high again, going right back to jail. Kristianna was toying around with the idea of asking the judge about going to a halfway house in a different location because my source kept telling her that they think it's best that she gets out of Dubuque because that's where her sister is. That's where all her friends, you got to get around different playground and playmates if you want to change. If you keep doing the same exact things, you're going to keep getting the same exact results. And if she doesn't go to the halfway house, then she's going to go to rehab. And they're assuming it's probably going to be about 30 days of rehab she'll have to do. None of this is not set in stone yet, but this is what they're thinking about doing. And I feel like if she goes to rehab, I feel like she needs to do a long-term rehab. I think she needs at least 6 to 9 months. I'm just saying that from personal experience. I used to use drugs. I know plenty of people who did drugs that I was in rehab with. Every time I went to rehab for like a month or less, I always got out. I do good for a week or two and went right back to the same stuff because I wasn't strong enough mentally yet to get back out and be able to say no and not give in. But when I finally went away and was gone for 9 months in a transitional living house, I was able to get out and stay sober for years. So I think that she needs to go to somewhere for at least 6 to 9 months, change her life around, make sure they make her get a job. And apparently Kristianna is really depressed because she wants to get back on the show and she's having a hard time not being on the show anymore. And that's the hard thing with these people when they get on the show, because when you're on the show, you get more attention than you have ever received your whole life. You're on the highest of highs. And then when you're not on the show anymore, it feels like you're just, going down and hitting the lows, even though, there's more to life than just a TV show. But once you hit the highest of highs, it just feels like you're going down from there. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So she's really been struggling with that. I guess she really misses being on TV. Even if she really wants to get on the show, it's not like she can get back on the show because she's not in a relationship. I mean, I guess she's locked up right now. Maybe she can find her a man while she's locked up and try to get back on the show. But I feel like unless she's with John, they're probably not going to bring her back unless they start like some special, single life spinoff. I think Kristianna needs to do 3 things. I think she needs to stay out of debut. She does not need to get behind the wheels of a car because the past 2 incidents she had getting arrested was dealing with alleged tampering with a motor vehicle. So she needs to not get behind the wheel because allegedly she doesn't even have a license either. So she doesn't need to get behind the wheel. She doesn't need to go back to Dubuque, and she needs to keep her distance from her sister. And I know that has to be incredibly hard when you have a family member that's using, that brings you down, because that's your family. They're supposed to be in your life no matter what. But if Kristianna wants to be better, then she's got to stay away from that until she's mentally strong enough to, not deal with it. She's got to learn how to separate herself from all that. Apparently, Kristianna has always been a weed smoker because she was busted with meth and she was busted with some weed. But apparently, she's always been a weed smoker, but she had her medical card and I guess expired, and that's why she got ticketed for it, because in Iowa, unfortunately, it's not legal yet, which I feel like it should. At this point, it's 2024. The rest of the states need to just catch up and go ahead and just legalize it, because it's ridiculous. Like, half the states got it legal and the other states don't, and I just feel like it's a bunch of money they're missing out on. Since we are talking about Kristianna, I do want to give a quick update with her ex, John. So her ex, John, just revealed this new girl he had been talking to not even like a week ago, and I talked about it in one of my update videos. And literally as soon as I announced that they were together, not even 2 days later, John ended up finding out some stuff about this girl that was just a complete deal breaker for him. So he quit talking to the girl, and they are no longer together. So John is currently single. I asked my source if they thought that Kristianna was going to get back with John, and they said that they don't believe that's going to happen, because my source told me that Kristianna has told them that she misses hanging out with John. She misses going on vacations with him and being on the show. But right now, John is not willing to be with her. At least right now, where Kristianna is at in life. But who knows? Maybe she turns her life around. But right now, they're not on bad terms, but they're not really close. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.